Hi, friends. Welcome to Lotus in the Light. So nice to see you again. I have not recorded a sit down um kind of intentional message for a few weeks actually. I have started though my No Shame November videos, but those are little shorter videos. And that is all about finding my joy and not feeling any guilt or shame about it. Through the whole month of November, I would say this is how I'm trying to live all the time now, just not just in November, but what I'm really doing is trying to, make a case for those of you watching to also try this out. And sometimes that feels like a scary ask, but if you cut something down to a short amount of time, like a day, a week, a month, sometimes these little bite-sized opportunities are something that we can get behind. So join me in No Shame November, in embracing your joy, and I promise you will not regret it. I promise you will not regret it. Okay, let me get a quick drink here. I don't have a message in mind, but just gonna take a breath here. I do feel drawn to a deck, so I'm gonna pull it out now and maybe open a card. So this is the Ocean Dreams deck. Take a deep breath with me, set the intention of channeling spirit of divine love and light with a message that's for your highest and best good only. And I am doing the same by saying those words, setting that intention, and opening myself up to feel, sense, hear, know, see, understand the message that Spirit has for us. Oh, there we go. Got something here. Set this to the side. Okay, what did we get? Healing waters. So here's the card. Hope you can see it okay. I busted the thing over the lens of my camera, so I don't know how well this comes through, but healing waters. So I think this is lovely. To me, this is talking about just taking some steps to doing some healing work, but exploring some alternatives to healing. That may not be in your traditional in scope of traditional healing as you understand it. Sometimes it's things that you wouldn't think that are healing that really are. What I would say is follow your instinct, because if you think it will heal you and help you, it will. So no matter what it is, you're going to be right about it. If you think it will help, it will help. If you think it won't, it won't. And that goes for traditional Western medicine. I'm sorry. I guess if we use the word traditional, I should say traditional Eastern medicine, because that's probably more of the traditional, right? But if you're from America, traditional for you is probably Western medicine. Um, any methods of healing, whether it's for the physical, whether it's for emotional, mental, all of those things, um, methods can be found anywhere and everywhere in any form and every form. There's a reason why there's a million different types of self-help books, a million different types of religions, a million different types of medications. I mean, boy, COVID really brought that to light, right? There was people on this side are saying, take these drugs, and people on this side are saying, no, that's pharmaceuticals, take these drugs, which are also pharmaceuticals. But and people on this side, I'm saying I'm acting like there's two sides, but there's people everywhere, right? People over here saying, no, it's not in medicine. It's in, this herb or this whatever. And the answer is yes, and it's all of those things. It's the thing that you believe will work for you. But it's also, I believe, more than that. It's the thing that, each of us come into this existence with, different DNA with different um, baggage. So whether that is it's genetic baggage, right? It's baggage from our ancestors. And that sounds really negative, but a lot of it is we come into this human experience for the purpose of learning and experiencing, really experiencing. And by way of experience, we expand. Our soul expands and learns and grows. So that's the purpose. And there's not really a cookie cutter right way to do that. We are all so unique, but yet we keep wanting to find ways to to do things, to accomplish things that are very cookie cutter that we can apply to everybody. And the sooner we let go of the narrative that there's one way, the sooner we can all begin to heal and find our own way, because the healing is in finding our own way. Okay, I see where this message is going now. The healing is in finding your way. Okay. I've never read the card for this, but now I'm intrigued to pop this card open and see what message is actually in the card. And I don't know that I'll read the whole thing, but let's just see where it starts to take us. I embrace healing. I allow subtle reweavings within my energetic field. I am open to new ways of nurturing myself. A spectrum of colors, sounds, and oceanic vibrations shine through these waves, wrapping your body in rainbow light. These healing waters flow to you now to replenish your beautiful self, to rebalance and soothe your delicate inner ecosystems, to recalibrate your mental, emotional, and spiritual facets in order to make room for new abundance and magic to flow into your life. Feel into these depths, dear heart. You can always return to these waters by visualizing them within and around you. So I love that it calls on visualization, because this is one way that I have been healing this year, has been um, visualization and imagination. I never really understood the importance of imagination. You know, we think of it as being something amazing and wonderful for children, but then we grow up and then we're supposed to live in the here and the now and the reality that we know and see and feel. But this is why we're sick. I know that sounds crazy. This is why this world is sick, because our emotions, our beliefs, our energy is what dictates what we manifest and what comes. And so what happens is we get stuck in, this is what I see, feel, know to be true now. So that's what is, that's reality. And we don't allow ourselves any longer to imagine something different, something better, something more joyful, something more healing, something more loving. And because we don't allow ourselves to go there emotionally and mentally in our mind, we don't manifest it. We stay at the energetic vibration we're at for longer than we need to, because somewhere along the way somebody said, this is your reality and it's the only reality. This is it. If you want to change your reality, you have to do something in the physical sense to change your reality. And that's where we've ended up in this life of constant struggle, of no pain, no gain. That is not that is not what is necessary in this creation. What is necessary is simply to um, become an emotional and energetic match to what it is that you want. Don't, and when I say what you want, that sounds very greedy. That sounds like, oh, well, if you believe in God or you have a faith system, you wouldn't be worried about what you want, because that's selfish and greedy. But I'm here to say that being selfish is not the issue. Being selfish is what we're supposed to be. The problem is we don't know who our self is anymore. We have forgotten. We have come into this earth experience forgetting who we are at the soul level and are spending this journey trying to remember. And if we truly remembered who we were, every selfish act would not only be self-serving, it would be universally serving. And that's the reason why, again, I'll come back to a reason why we're sick, because we spend our time saying, I can't focus on me. I need to focus on other people. I need to focus on helping my family. I need to focus on helping the world. I need to focus on, so, or maybe you're not focused on helping anyone. Maybe you are just focused on, um, what people would say is selfishly focused on doing for you. But if it's not in the right energetic vibration, right's not the right word. There's no such thing as the right energetic vibration. Okay. It's you're in whatever energetic vibration you're in. But if the vibration you're in is disconnected from your true authentic self, then what you're reaching for, what you're striving for, because most of us are striving and clawing at and trying to get to these things that we want in life, what we're striving for may not be ultimately for our highest and best good or for the highest and best good of others because we simply are misunderstood. So I peel back the layers of the onion of what you want and then figure out what energetic vibration that's at, and then work at becoming that energetic vibration. And I guarantee you, following your joy will get you there. So let's take an example. Let's say, oh man, I really want that job over here because it pays so much better. I really want that job because it's going to give me the title that's going to, make me feel good. So let's start. Okay, you really want that job. Why? It's peeling back the layer of the onions. Why do you want that job? Oh, because it's going to give me more money. Why do you want more money? So it's not the job you want, it's more money that you want, right? So we're going to move this from the physical to the spiritual, but watch how it unfolds. Well, I want more money so that I can have, so that I'm not, so I can have pay off my house, so that I can get a new car because I'm sick of worrying about my car not running and whatever. So I need money to do that. Okay, so you're saying you want more money to have more things, or you have your house to own more things. Okay, so why? Why do you want to own more things? Well, I want to own more things because that's where stability comes from. That's where building your wealth comes from owning more things. And if I own more things, then I'm more stable and then I'm not so reliant on other people. Okay, why don't you want to be reliant on other people? Because I want to, and you can keep going down the road. I want to feel safe and secure. Okay, so what you're saying is what you're really looking for is safety and security. That's what you really want. So how about we figure out a way to be an energetic match to safety and security? Or maybe using that same logic, it lands you somewhere else. Yeah, I want the money. I want to be able to pay off the house. I want to be able to, for me, I want to be able to pay off the business loan. I had a business that I'm just now completely closing up and being done with, but I still have over $100,000 of debt in that business, closer to 200,000 in debt to that business. And so, yeah, I want money to pay. So I could be trying to manifest the money to pay off the loan, or instead of giving these tight, rigid requirements to the universe and saying, I just need money. I know how to get this done. Just give me the money and I'll pay it off. How about we say, how about we peel back the onion and say, why do you want okay, I want the money to pay off the loan. Why do I want to pay off the loan? And not just the loan, but I don't really have a lot of other debt, but I want to pay off my debts. Why do I want to pay off my debts? Because I want to be financially free. Why do I want to be financially free? Because I just want to be free in general, free to follow my calling and follow my joy wherever that takes me without the burden of, without the financial burdens. So it's financial freedom for me, right? So safety, security for somebody else. I already feel safe and secure. I already trust, I already know, but I want the financial freedom, right? Um, so take that journey for yourself. It will be a healing journey to really understand what it is that you want. We think we want these physical things. What we're really seeking usually is something emotional, aka something spiritual. It's all intermingled, emotional, physical, spiritual. But don't get hung up in just the physical elements of it. That's where, we put some moral things on that and we say, oh, this is bad, this is wrong, this is what. It's not bad or wrong. It's just a lower vibrational experience when you're just hyper focused on the physical and you forget who you are in totality, in the spiritual nature of who we are. So let's close out with another card. And since we're kind of talking about that spiritual element, maybe I'll go with Sacred Rebels. Let's see what this has to say. The spiritual element, like this isn't all spiritual. That's silly of me to say, but spirit, how can we wrap a bow on this message? Here it is right here. Okay. Going beyond the normal. That's exactly what I was talking about with the healing waters. Like try new things. Maybe you heard of some um, ancient healing ointment. I don't know, or ancient healing um, practice. Maybe something around Himalayan sea salt, or maybe something around, or maybe it's just taking the darn medicine from over the counter at the pharmacy because that's because that's what will make you feel better in the now. Like whatever's an energetic vibrational match for you is what's going to work for you. Okay. So, or maybe the healing again is more about the emotional, but trying something new and different and not being afraid to do that and really peeling back the layers of the onion to understand better who you are, remembering who you are. And the more you remember who you are, um, the more confident you will feel in following your joy. And the more joy you follow your joy, the higher your vibrational energy will be. And it's in that higher vibrational energy that all kinds of healing can happen, even when you don't know what's happening. See, we want to take everything into our own hands and like, I've got to make this healing happen by taking this or doing this or eating this or doing this exercise or doing this therapy but sometimes it's actually simpler than that. Often it can be simpler than that if we can get in the right vibrational match to it. Okay. And see, she knows it. She's up here. She's not in her physical. She's in her third eye. She's in her tapping into the crown chakra and the wisdom of the universe. There's so many ways. There's so many ways. Okay, on the path of life, this is the reading for the card. On the path of life, there are deciding moments where we can choose to go with the mainstream, or we can dare to take a bolder, more authentic and trusting way, even if it seems riskier or less safe. To rely solely on logic and science without incorporating the mysterious and magical is a recipe for an existence that is far too dry. Wow, this is so on point. The sacred rebel within our hearts will always choose a juicier approach to life. You are currently approaching such a point. You could say that the choice is about balance. It's less about choosing to honor either art or science, gardening or architecture, and more about integrating all approaches so that you enhance rather than hinder your life journey. Placing science or architecture above all else kills off the rebellious heart. Okay, this is where I'm coming back to imagination. Imagine it. When you're feeling bad and having an ick day, that ick vibrational energy manifests more ick. Whatever you put your attention towards, whatever you're thinking about, whatever's consuming you is your way. It's your prayer to the universe. You're saying, I want to focus on this. I want to focus on this. So if you want some healing waters in your life, focus on the healing waters. And if you don't have anything going on in your physical reality that's bringing you a sense of peace or healing or love, then imagine it. Just try it. Take the alternative and just know that what's in your 3D manifestation right now may not be a reflection of how you were feeling this morning or even yesterday. It could be weeks past, it could be months past, but just allow yourself those moments of joy, even if you have to create them in your mind. Um, Steadfastly relying on logic, proof, and a complete set of plans to measure and dictate outcomes will suffocate the soul. Basing decisions on limited factors with an imbalanced measure of success is unnecessarily limiting. This approach prevents us from living freely, spontaneously, and with trust so that we can rebel against the need for things to go strictly according to plan. Yes, we don't need things to go according to plan. Choose to value decisions based on passion and instinct and trust in life enough to embrace it as an adventure and let it unfold as it will. Mm. It keeps going, so maybe I can find keeps going for pages. Wow, a lot of pages. I'm just going to read the very end. You are not necessarily meant to abandon logic and intellect altogether. You are to use them to serve the desires of the heart rather than replace its naturally spontaneous and truthful nature with controlled planning and narrow strategy. It's time to get a bit wild and let nature take its course. I love that. I say it all the time. I've said it before in these videos. Your mind, your brain, your intellect, your logic, your reason, that conscious mind serves a really wonderful purpose. It really does. But its purpose is it's not to point you in the direction you're supposed to go. It is not your GPS. Your heart is your GPS. Tap into your heart, which is the same as tapping into God, and ask God, seek that God's direction, which is your higher self, right? Your higher self, your soul knows God more intimately than you do, okay? And understands the direction that you intended for this life and the things you intended to experience and learn and the way you can grow. Um, Tapping into that should set your direction. And then your mind, that's when you turn on your left brain and say, okay, here's the direction we're going. Help me get there. And your brain's like, got it. Okay, I know the quickest way to do this, and the most efficient way to do this, and the most logical way to do this, and right? And sometimes even then, your soul wants to chime in and say, "Wait, there's a funner way. There's a funner way." But when you need that efficiency, that effective way of doing things, like your left brain is it. So they need to work in balance. But most of us say our left brain is for setting the course and setting the direction. That's why we're in the place that we're in as a collective, as humanity right now. We've turned off the spiritual GPS system. And we think we've turned it back on individually by you know, a lot of our religious experiences and things like that. And I don't say that with judgment because absolutely those are ways that spirit is guiding us and navigating us. So that sounded really judgmental, and I don't like the way that came out. But what I'm saying is a lot of times we approach religion and spirituality still from a physical way that's still very disconnected from our spiritual energy, is what I'm trying to say. So it's not, the problem isn't the methods, the or the sources of that guidance. It's how we engage them, is what I'll say. Okay, with that, thank you so much for joining. I hope this was beneficial for you. I love you all. Peace out.